Your mum is a special lady with deep emotions, strong opinions, and quite frankly, an unnatural attraction to Paul Hollywood. But Breaking Bad isn't the type of man that could take your mum to downtown Bonetown. Instead, these are the top 5 footballers that fancy your mum. Number 5, Taki Minamino. We're starting off this list with a younger gentleman. He had quite the blunt career at Liverpool, but since moving to the South Coast, he'll be looking to score more than goals in and around the St. Mary's. Learning his trade in Japan, Austria, and now in England, he could show your mum parts of the world she's never seen before, and quite frankly, maybe get rid of some of those racist views she still holds from the 80s. Number 4, Jurgen Klopp. Now, this isn't exactly a football player, more a manager, but that doesn't mean he hasn't been eyeing your mum up for a while now, and to be quite honest, she's got everything he needs. He loves a good fullback, and your mum is overqualified. Now, they met in an unusual way, with Jurgen Klopp celebrating his Champions League triumph in a club in Madrid, and your mum was in the same club trying to reconnect with her youth because your dad had failed the previous night. And as Klopp was throwing shapes no man his age has any place throwing, he saw your mum from across the nightclub, and since that moment, he's never forgotten the image of a middle-aged fake town woman twerking on a Spanish waiter, and he will always regret the time he didn't pluck up the courage to go ask her out. Number 3, Jack Grealish. Now, Jackie Pumpkin isn't exactly the man your mum would usually go for. He doesn't nearly have the same suave and mystery of a man that would usually be found in her erotic fiction, but if he can force himself into a Gareth Southgate England team, I think he can make it into your mum's box. Grim joke, Tom. Funny, but grim. Now, it is important to know that if you are worried about this relationship happening in a pandemic, I can more than assure you that Jack in the jean shorts is more than happy to come over, get the job done, and then tuck your mum in like a burrito. Number 4, Mesut Ozil. Speaking of incredible playmakers, Mesut Ozil was almost at the top of the list of men thirsting for your mum. I really think this could open up possibilities that no one's thought possible before. I mean, Mesut is an incredibly unselfish man. I'm sure he'd be happy to assist your mum in any desire she needs. Your mum isn't quite as keen though, due to Ozil's tendency to down tools as soon as things aren't going right, and to be honest, if she wanted to be disappointed in a time of need, she would have gone back to when you were conceived. And finally, in at number 1, N'Golo Kante. A shy boy, I think we can all admit that, but that doesn't mean he hasn't been getting a bit of a crush for your mum, and she knows it. I mean, look at that smile. That smile could seduce anyone. He's a tender lover, N'Golo, bringing your mum to a pre-prepared picnic blanket on the hills of a grassy verge, and they sat there discussing the intricacies of the time of life of going into your 30s. I mean, your mum is not exactly in that time anymore, but... And as they shared a bottle of Prosecco and looked into each other's eyes, N'Golo fell more in love, and he's been left out of the Chelsea squad for a while now, so he'll have more than enough time to love and care for your mum like a child loves and cares for their dead Tamagotchi. And that was the list. These were the top 5 footballers that fancy your mum. Are there any other footballers? Let me know. Does your Sunday League goalkeeper fancy having a go? Let me know down in the comments below. Until then, see you later. Thanks for watching this shit.